Hello and welcome to Mailtrap videos, where we explore the world of emails. Today we'll be sending emails in Linux via SMTP and showing you a few bonuses along the way. From the most popular to the lesser known, in this video we'll cover 7 different commands for email sending in Linux. So let's get started. We'll start off by opening the Linux terminal. This is where we'll be writing all the email sending scripts, including the commands. The first command we'll cover is curl. To start the process of sending with curl, type in curl, then \. This will allow you to continue the command in the next line, making it easier to read. Then make sure your connection is secure by requiring SSL. For the connection, you, of course, need to specify an SMTP server and port. And to be able to send an email, you need to authenticate with the SMTP server, so proceed to add your SMTP credentials as well. Next, you need to set the sender and recipient email address. After that, to set the content of the email, you can use the upload file option to read from standard input, and then provide the email details between the end of the file here docs. These details can include email headers such as from, to, subject, content type, content transfer encoding, and content disposition, as well as the email body. With the script finalized, you can press enter to run it. And the email should be in the recipient's inbox shortly. The second option for sending emails in Linux is the mail command. To use this command, you need to complete a short setup beforehand. So first, update the local package index to determine which packages are available for installation. This is done by running the following command and typing in your password. Then install the mail utils package on your Linux system using the advanced package tool. During the installation process, you will be asked to select the mail server configuration type that best meets your needs. Here, select the second option, Internet Site, by typing in the number 2 into the terminal. After that, provide your system mail name, which will be used to qualify email addresses without a domain. For demonstration purposes, we used demomailtrap.com. With that done, you'll have to then complete the SMTP server configuration. To do this, run the command for editing the main configuration file for the postfix mail server. Towards the end of the file, you will find a line that specifies the SMTP relay host used by postfix to send outgoing mail. There, add your relay host server URL and port. After that, enable SASL authentication for outgoing mail. Specify the location and format of the file that contains the SMTP client authentication credentials. Configure SASL security options for the postfix SMTP client. Configure the location of the certificate authority certificate file used for TLS encryption, and enable the use of TLS for outgoing SMTP connections. To finish off the configuration, press Ctrl X to exit the editor, and then Y to save the modified buffer. Finally, press enter. With the configuration done, you now need to add your SMTP credentials to the file used by postfix to store them. These credentials include the hostname of the SMTP relay server and the port, as well as the username and password for authentication with the SMTP server. To save the file changes, again press Ctrl X and then Y. For efficiency and security, you should create a hashed database of your credentials. And for enabling secure communication over email servers, you should also download an SSL certificate. This is done by first moving to the directory that contains SSL certificates, and then downloading them from the specified URL using the wget command. As your SSL certificate needs to be properly verified, go ahead and update the list of trusted certificate authorities for postfix. Once you've done that, to finish up the setup process, restart the postfix mail server, and then proceed with sending the email. For this, construct the body of the email using the echo command, and then use the mail command to send the email with the specified subject and from address to the designated recipient. Alright, bonus time. In today's bonus section, we'll cover how to send HTML emails, add attachments, and add multiple recipients. But before we jump into all of that, we just want to remind you to click that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more email-related content. To send an HTML email with the mail command, you can use essentially the same script we used for plain text emails, but with a few tweaks. So first, construct the body of the email using the echo command. Just keep in mind that this time the body should be made up of HTML code. Then, use the mail command to set the header, which specifies that the content of the email is HTML. After that, all that's left is to set the subject, the sender, and the recipient email address, and of course, run the script. For adding attachments to emails sent with the mail command, we can use the same logic as we did thus far. So begin with constructing the body of the email using the echo command. Then, use the mail command to set the subject. To add the attachment, use the A option followed by the attachment file name. And lastly, define the sender and recipient. If you now run this script, the recipient should receive an email with the attached file, test.txt, and can download or open it as needed. Lastly, in our bonus section, we have sending emails to multiple recipients. To construct the body of the email, again, use the echo command, and then set the subject and sender with the mail command. When defining the multiple recipients, simply add them after the sender email one by one, separated by commas. And that's it. Your email should be sent to each defined recipient upon running the script. Okay, now that we're done with the bonus section, it's time for more sending commands. These include mpack, mutt, swaks, ssmtp, and openssl. Let's start with mpack. Just like the mail command, mpack also requires you to complete a setup before using it to send emails. So once more, update the local package index to determine which packages are available for installation, and then type in your password. After that, install two packages, mailutils and mpack. The rest of the installation and setup process will be the same as for the mail command. So if you need a reminder, rewind the video and follow the instructions. Now, to begin the process of sending an email with mpack, you'll need to change your current directory. Then create a file to add as an attachment to your email. This attachment will serve as the body of the emails since mpack does not support specifying the email body directly in the command line without using a file. The command nano email.txt is used to open the nano text editor and create or edit a file. We named our file email.txt. The command will also open and display the contents of the newly created file, where you can then add some content. After saving changes to the file, use the mpack command to send the email. Here you'll define the subject line, add the attachment, and define the recipient. Next up is the mutt command, which also requires completing a setup and installation process. As this process is the same for mutt as it is for the mail and mpack command, we won't go through it step by step. Instead, we'll just provide you with the installation command you'll need, which is also the only unique part of the process. After you have mutt installed and everything else is set up, you can use the command to send an email as follows. Create the content for the body of the email using the echo command. Pipe the output of the echo command to the mutt email client. Set the subject of the email, and lastly, specify the recipient's email address. When it comes to the swaks command, first up is the installation process. To begin this process, update the local package index to determine which packages are available for installation and enter your password. Then install swaks by running the following command. To send an email with swaks, first type in swaks and then / so you can break the command into multiple lines for better readability. After that, proceed to specify the username for SMTP authentication. Specify the password for SMTP authentication. Tell swaks to use TLS for encrypting the connection to the SMTP server. Specify the recipient's email address. Specify the sender's email address. Set the SMTP server and port. Set the subject. Set the body, and run the command. When sending via SMTP, at your disposal is also the app aptly named ssmtp command. To use it, you, of course, need to install it by updating the local package index, entering our password, and then running the installation command. With the installation complete, open the ssmtp configuration file. There, you'll need to specify one email address to which all system-related emails will be redirected. This address, in our case, is mailtrap@demomailtrap.com. You'll also need to specify the SMTP server and port that ssmtp will use to send emails, as well as the hostname. To allow users to specify their own from address when sending emails, uncomment the following configuration line. Then set the username and password for SMTP authentication and tell the service to use startTLS to encrypt the communication with the SMTP server. Once you're done with the changes in the configuration file, save, close it, and proceed with sending the email. For this, you'll need the echo-e command, which generates the email content, including the subject and the body. The pipe operator, which takes the output from the echo command and sends it as input to the next command, and the ssmtp utility, which sends the email to the specified recipient. Last but not least for this tutorial, we have the openssl command. To send emails with openssl, you first need to establish a secure connection to an SMTP server. Then use the ehlo command to introduce the clients to the SMTP server and request the list of capabilities supported by the server. Once the client has been introduced, initiate the authentication process using the login command. As the login authentication method requires usernames and passwords to be encoded in base 64, proceed to change the format of yours. For this, you'll need to open another Linux terminal window and use the following command to encode the username. Then copy the encoded username, paste it into the initial Linux terminal window, and repeat the same process for the password. Based on the received response, you can tell if authentication was successful. If yes, you can now proceed with specifying the sender email address and the recipient email address, initiating the transfer of the email message's content, including its headers and body, using the data command setting the from header, and setting the subject header. To add the email body, you first need to press enter to create a separation. After that, simply paste the body content. Finally, before sending the email, add a single period to the script to tell the SMTP server that the message content has finished. And there you have it, a step-by-step tutorial on how to use the most popular commands to send emails in Linux via SMTP. If you like this video, then you might also want to give our Sending Emails in Linux via API tutorial a watch. Just click on the card to get started. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by Mailtrap, an email delivery platform to test, send, and control your email infrastructure all in one place.